Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 240.
Oh my god.
Or
Time
420,
flies.
whatever you want. It's fine.
No, we'll make it there.
Since I changed stuff, yes, we have audio levels. Sweet.
I pull this a little bit.
I need to pull something up, I guess, as per usual. Go to Skinny Play to... no, I don't need the newsletter. I'm promoting you. Go to Skinny Play and you get 10% off. And thankfully, sweet baby Jesus, the picture we were talking about last week, somebody actually sent that to me, but it was a bit too late to pop that into whatchamacallit, into the intro. But I will make it a separate ad at one point, but I can show it if the yeah, so this is what Skinny Play can do with custom.
Yeah, that's insane.
So, and the discount code works for that too, so you can get 10% off on the custom prints.
Nice.
And, I mean, damn, this is good. I really like that.
Yeah, dude. Is it straight on when you're, like, looking at it straight on? Because this is from an angle, of course.
Well,
but I wonder if it matches perfectly.
More or less.
But yeah, that's pretty slick.
I mean, I bet you if you have wallpaper, because I take this as wallpaper, you can just send them a few pieces and mark where center is, and they'll print it for you.
That's sick. So yeah, that's nice. I like it.
I mean, obviously in the Christmas spirit.
Indeed. With a little halo in there.
Yeah. I still like a halo. It's a nice product.
I miss mine. I'm gonna actually during the holidays. I think I'm gonna hit up the storage locker, and I think I'm gonna. My mom's coming for a visit, so that's gonna be cool. And yeah, it's a lot of laughs. But yeah, I had a pretty interesting Friday.
Hold on, I'm not there. We have more friends. We have more friends. We have.
Let's do it.
We have our friends over at Prestige Creators. Nice. Did you know, by the way, they have Beolab 18 and Beolab 8000 wall brackets?
No, I did not know that.
Well, shoot them an email because they're cheaper than the B&O ones.
I don't think the B&O ones are available for the 8000s.
Yeah, so
there's your chance, peoples.
I mean, and
even 6000s too.
That's cool. And as per always, you can customize colors too.
That's cool.
So if you have
3 brackets,
I don't know, if you have blue 8000s, you can get a blue wall mount if you want, or if you have, I don't know, a black wall and you don't want to see the brackets, just ask for them in black.
The marble is nice too.
Yeah. So you have covers for your because to me the thing that dates the 8000s mostly is the foot.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, if you put it on a marble or something, it's going to elevate the speaker quite a bit, in my opinion. Because these just go slip over top of the actual weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it gives it a whole new look, which
of course.
I really enjoy because, I mean, personally, this is partially why I think 18s are nicer to look at, is that the foot is nicer and the wood makes it a bit more modern, but also still contemporary. But then again, you can also get covers for your 8000 from Prestige. So
redo your speakers completely.
Well, I mean, it's way cheaper than buying 18s now because they're what, like $8,000 here or something?
Yeah, I think they're about $13,000 here now. 13, 14.
Pretty crazy.
It's a lot of money now, yeah. It's a lot of money for a speaker.
Because when they launched, I think they were like $4,750 or something, maybe $5.
Yeah, they were
with oak.
They weren't that much, no. They weren't that much at all. But now it's yeah, everything's going up in prices, so there you go.
So Yeah, there's that. As per usual, since people don't want to see our faces for some reason, you can go and subscribe to our Substack. All you need to do is have an email, and the app will play close. So if you're on the go, and you can download it and all that, and you don't have to see our faces, and it uses less data. If you're in a country where that's annoying, and it's just audio only. So if you want to, I tend to like add some pictures. So this is when you click on it, and some highlighted pictures from the show. Some
Nice.
you've seen in the intro now. So you'll see some, but not everything. So go and subscribe to our Substack, and obviously go to our Discord for general shenanigans.
Indeed.
And be the first to know everything, because we have some keen-eyed viewers in there.
Nice.
And they're not helping me with my addiction.
Fuck. So you came back with a pair of 17s again?
No, they were here.
Oh,
but
you have another pair of 17s.
Yeah, because somebody spotted an auction that I would have normally totally missed.
People need to stop helping you like that.
Yeah. So
So you got 4 pairs now or 3 pairs?
3.
3, yeah. Ceilings, back, and fucking whatever else you put it now. I like that the broken ice is not yellowed, so they were in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I have another set of covers in broken ice that aren't yellowed either yet, so that's good. But here are all 6 of them in one view. I have a Lab 17 issue.
Yeah, I've seen. I think when I was in Denmark first time in Struer, like they had one of them that they like tested in the sun. That was just in summer, like in one of those places where the speakers were, and it was yellow to hell. I'm like, holy cow! The UV light does do damage very much.
But yeah, one step closer to the ultimate setup, and I feel like I should start the show with like, "Hi, my name is Michael. I have a problem."
So what do you? Where are you gonna put the 17s, or those 17s rather?
Well, not here, anywhere.
Oh, just pack them up for the. You should order box.
Like I have them sitting right here in a box, fully packaged up, and
sick.
So,
ready to go.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, the ultimate dream setup is, I think I said this like 2 weeks ago, where 50s front, 50s rear, and then 6 17s on the ceiling.
That's fucking insane.
But if that's not financially possible, then the 18s will go just back with the 19 and be good enough.
And then what, do 4 ceilings?
No, 6 ceilings still. But then it's front height, surround, rear height for the 7.4.
Okay.
But when you have I mean, it's a bit of an it's not an octagon, it's a hexagon, right? Like 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea being is that the one in the middle will be further away, pushed apart, than the one there and there.
Yeah. And then 18's on the ground.
Yeah, at the back. But I mean, it frees up so much floor space. And although I love my 18 there, I have a feeling in summer, especially in the window, it's like cooking itself. And I'd rather
silver or not, it's still gonna get hot. Yeah.
Marky asks, no brass Parisian Night 17s. They're so gorgeous. Yeah, I thought about it, but the silver matches with everything. And it goes with every color you may end up deciding to choose in your room ever.
I wouldn't go with anything else other than silver now. I'm too invested in it.
I mean, the whites could potentially work. But then you have to get the STB brackets, which is another massive investment, because on the white and the black version, you can definitely for sure see that the logo is upside down if you use the B&O.
Yeah. And that's what feels bad. So.
Yeah, so I love STB, but God, if I have to buy 3 sets of those wall brackets. That's quite an investment. I can get another set of them for that.
Mm-hmm. And hang them upside down.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a little bit too much.
on
Like
the
what they're
brass,
asking.
it's not so obvious, but on these aluminium ones, the B&O logo is so minimally etched in them that you can barely see it.
Mm-hmm.
So mine are on the B&O bracket upside down, but like where I stand, like I'm 6'3", they're what, 8 foot off the ground or something like that, and I can't see the logo. Like you see a sort of, I don't know, break up in the aluminium a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's not as obvious as like with the white ones, it's black text, and with the black ones, it's white text on there,
Mm-hmm.
which is like you see that 6 foot away. So
Upside down.
yeah, sorry, I have a problem.
It's funny though. So I decided I'm gonna get a Theater 65 on a floor stand once I move up, which is gonna be end of this month.
I mean,
So
yes. Speaking of the logo, by the way, this in this next picture, this is taken like 2 foot away. Like, it's hard to tell where the logo is, even in the picture. There's ample light on any of them.
mm-hmm.
I mean, if you know where they are, you sort of see it, but if you at a glance, you don't see them.
No, but that's the whole point of it, right? B&O was never that flashy with their logos, anyways.
No.
Other than like on the promo material, but usually, yeah, you can't really tell. I think the nicest B&O logo that they've ever done was when the Beovision 8 grew, that you only could see it under a certain angle. That was cool. I like it.
Steve says what always annoys him is with the 17s on the stands, is the tweeter don't line up. One is above the woofer and one is below.
Yeah,
God, I'm envious of your ears if you can hear that at more than 3 feet away.
I think it's more just the OCD. There's no way. There's no way I could hear it. If you can, then damn. You get me hearing better than a dog or a cat, I guess, at that point.
Steve is like, woof, roof.
That's insane. Yeah, I couldn't tell when I used to listen to them or I had them.
I mean, I know it's the case, obviously, but with the cover on it, it's like,
Like it says, it's just OCD. Indeed. So yeah.
so yeah, that was one of the my England trip was kind of shit. So
I thought you brought those speakers from there. That's
no,
what I was under the impression of. Okay.
no, no, I got them from The Hague on Friday.
Pack the car. Each has a 17 in the lap. all the way to home.
So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, well, yeah, it is what it is. How was your week?
My week was pretty good, but it ended fucking brutally. So I go home on Friday from work. It's like 4:30, close to 5 when I left. And I take the same road every day. And I don't know how I always miss this fucking pothole. And I had driven over it. Just bang bang. I split both of my tires on the left hand side.
Oh, wow.
Like just fucking dead in the rush hour traffic, right? So I just like hobbled the car to thank God there was a parking available. Come outside and I tried to torque the wheel or the bolt and I stripped one of the bolts and I can't take it off. And by the time I was just fixated on that front wheel, and by the time, I just like, I waved down a cop. I'm like, can you just get a tow truck in here, right? So at least maybe they have some equipment, whatever, to undo the goddamn bolt. The tow truck shows up and he goes like, yeah, looks like your rear tire is flat as well. And I look like, Jesus Christ, man, it's both. So I backed the car up into like this intersection. He stops the traffic and then I drive on the ramp and I'm like, well, where the fuck am I gonna tow this damn thing now, right? So I towed it back to the B&O shop into the yard because we're gonna deal with the bolt. and then I have to borrow my friend's donuts so we can put 2 donuts on the car and then park it in the fucking garage and go get another set of tires that these were 7 days old. Literally, I got them last Friday, picked it up.
Oh God.
Son of a bastard. So now drop the car off at the goddamn store and I hobble it into the parking and leave it there. Thankfully it was before 6 o'clock, so I called Kareem. I'm like, bro, you gotta bring the golf keys with you or put them on the fender, like or on a wheel. I'm gonna be there in not even 5 minutes if you guys are leaving. So we came in. He wasn't there. And the keys weren't there. I'm like, fuck. He comes out of the shop. He was still in the store. So I get the golf started, put my phone in, and then I'm not even mad. I'm just like, I can't fucking both tires, bro. So I'm driving about 1/3 away, like 1/3 down towards my house. I realize I left my keys and my parking pass in the glove box on my car. So I have to turn the fuck around, drove back. I got home at 9 o'clock.
Oh God.
And like I was just spent, bro. Like like this, like really, that's the shits. So, and it's not like I don't drive the car because everything is like I go downstairs and I'm in a grocery store. I go downstairs and block away it's a liquor store. I go downstairs and 3 minute, 5 minute walk. I'm in a Stogie cigar bar or restaurants around. Like I don't really need to drive anywhere other than to fucking work because I have to bring my tools in. And yeah, today was like the Friday was just like feels bad, man. Like you know what, just crack a bottle of bourbon and forget about it. That's all you can do sometimes.
Uh, well, it's also quite expensive to have an oopsie like that.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but at least the tires were cheap. But yeah, it's $200 just to get the goddamn tow truck, right? Because it was one of those that like the cops are in cahoots with.
Yeah.
So it was quick, like he was there within 10 minutes. But it cost me $200 for first 10 kilometers. Thankfully, I was in between my house and the shop, close enough that it was just that. So, oh my god, yeah, that's my luck. That was the end of the week. But other than that, uh, yeah, just banging out the theaters basically, and like on a conveyor belt. I'm doing one tomorrow with a set of 90s at the uh, client's house that we're fucking tossing the Yamaha preamp, whatever receiver nonsense.
Oh,
And
you're gonna go and listen to that and you'll be like, God damn it.
fuck, I just
What
hate
I'm
that.
really wondering about is how you feel the theater will interact with it all. Because I've heard it.
Mhm.
This is how I was demoed it. And I was like, wow, this is impressive.
It's a very small room, man. Like it's such a small. I'll take some pictures. It's really hard to take photos there because everything is dark. It's a cinema room, right?
Hmm.
Everything is dark as fuck. But the speakers, like you gotta basically walk around them just to get in the room. Like it's big. It's probably smaller than your bedroom for a theater.
Oh, okay. And there's 90s in that, and like any rears?
Threes.
Okay.
He just he just moved into that house, like so it's just a put together system. Because threes were in a theater that he used to have upstairs in the old house, and 90s were just on their own in uh in the main room. And
Hmm.
then yeah,
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's almost
it's
a
weird.
waste of speaker.
Well, they're gonna. I think next year they're planning to just tear the house down again and like rebuild whatever's inside it, like reno everything, right? The doors, like fuck, it's typical like in Europe, man. Like we couldn't get the speaker through the goddamn door on the skates. Guys were like, "How the hell do you do that?" Now I'm like, "Well, put him on a moving blanket and just pulled it across the entire floor all the way to another set of stairs, and then brought him down. 3 guys. That was not a fun day, but it was a fun day for me.
I mean,
And yeah,
I mean, the
so
concept of a theater plus 90s plus threes isn't crazy, but in a bedroom, it's pretty nuts.
but it's a bedroom, like it's a bedroom because it's a theater, right? Like it's a home
Yeah,
theater,
but
but it was a
what?
small
We're
bedroom.
talking about like 4 by 4 meters or something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not
Probably
like
5 by 4.
it's not this. Like,
No, no, no,
and that would be a lot here already.
no. I think the room ends where your couch is, like the end of it. Yeah, it's. I listened to that and like yeah, the night is like dude, they just push the house apart. That's they're literally pushing the house apart. And he likes his music loud because he also mixes. So he's got another room where he's got like I don't know what kind of stereo speakers or like there's 4 of them, and he's got a like a Pioneer mixing pult and like the whole thingamajiggers because he likes to, I guess he DJs for himself or with whatever his hobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another room, but that doesn't have anything to do with the 90s.
No, but it's also impossible to do because of the latency.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting job, that's for sure.
Hmm. I wonder how that sounds. I mean, I give B&O props for the DSP and being able to do any room, but that is really small for when it's.
I would say it's almost if not smaller than one of the rooms, one of the listening rooms in the in Denmark. I'm sure it's really small. But like when I was doing the measurements, I went across the front, down the center line, or like in the middle of the across the middle of the room, down the center of the room, and then I tuned basically everything about not even a like foot or maybe 20 centimeters away from the wall
Mm,
because that's where their heads are. So those threes are complete nonsense, and like the room has a window in it, so they're not even centered. Like it didn't even make sense to me to like have them put in there, but they just put them in there. So,
yeah, like
but
generic
if
enthusiast
it's
says over on Twitch, near field listening works well. This is
oh,
the
you're pretty
closest to
close to
having
those speakers.
90s as headphones.
They were closer, like when I would sit when I tuned like for the sweet spot because you can actually sit at the edge of that like a bed thing that they have there.
Mm,
Uh, then you are about not even 2 meters away, 2.1 meters away from the speaker for both, like perfectly centered. It sounds insane, by the way. Like, it
that is
sounds
close,
insane,
yeah.
but it
I
sounds
mean, you're so
absolutely
close to
insane.
the point that like 15 hertz you don't hear because it's behind you.
Yeah, it's too far.
Wow. Even I don't sit that close to my 50s, and I think I sit pretty close to them.
No, yeah, dude, it's gonna be an interesting job. Hopefully, it's gonna be not too long of a time. I think the tuning is gonna take the most time because I can put theater together within 10 minutes now.
Do
It's
you still
simple.
think the install process is good, or have you changed your opinion on it, or?
Well, I think I've seen more theaters than anybody right now as far as the installers are concerned, and not just in Canada but in US also, based on the numbers that because there's a competition to win a theater for the best salesman, and so far we're at the top for installed, not just having shit sitting in the stock or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've done all of them except the one in the store, which is on a C2 panel. Also, what I noticed, which is funny, if you go to the B&O's website and you go to the customize for the Beosound theater and you look at what screen they are showing it with, it's actually a C2 panel.
That's got to be a no.
So there's a little mistake there. Well, not a mistake, but that it rattles. The TV rattles. Also, there's a number of people that were coming with the same conclusion because it's North America and everybody puts TVs above the goddamn fireplace. So when you put the theater on the wall, there is a fireplace attached to it. It will not rattle on its own. It'll rattle all the it'll rattle the fireplace cage and everything in it. Like and you can't prevent that from happening. I can stop the vibrations, and now I notice that they are also starting to put the little felted padded tape on the brackets, like on the crucial points or touch points. So
B&O, if you're watching, like nothing is loading for me.
nice.
Like I can select stuff and it loads up top, but like nothing happens here.
It's going.
It's just a white screen. Yay!
It's coming. It's coming. Something happening.
Wait, I'll see if I reload it if something changes.
Yeah, you gotta refresh. Restart your Windows.
Okay. Ooh, there we go.
Okay, just wait. Don't touch anything because it needs to load. Yeah, there you go. Now you're good. Now you're safe. Turn it around. Turn the TV around.
I do like this feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a C2. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a C2 panel.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, I saw a question here from Marky again. He says, I remember you guys mentioned something ago of pre-loved 17s, 18s that had played years on WISA, maybe not the safe choice. Why was that? Because the WISA antennas and the board get quite hot and they can burn out over time. Can. Not will, but...
But can.
Yeah, and it depends a bit on how warm your apartment is. Do they sit in the sun or not? Etc., etc. That doesn't make them inoperable, though, because they will still work on a cable.
Just on a power link. And also, if you run them on power link, that module never even turns on.
Yeah.
Because you actually switch it off manually with the...
And if you're in Europe right now and care for energy prices, that actually saves you like 2-3 watts of continual nothing power. Because the WISA speaker is always on in a sort of sleep state.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if I turn my theater on, because my 17s in the back are now on WISA, because obviously the cable is like that much too short, so it doesn't get up the pole.
Nice. Can't stretch it.
I tried, but no.
Shit.
The sound got really thin.
No bass.
But yeah, so even if I turn the theater on to something where like a different speaker group standard, the 17s will still come on and then go off again.
But they're not even standby, they're ready.
Yeah.
Like if you went to the menu and start like play sound out of that speaker, it would not even have to connect, it just turns on.
Yeah.
So they're always turned on, and they also turn off with the system.
But that's like, I don't know, 5 watt or something per speaker, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, depending on what country you're in, where I'm currently at, I sort of care, but I've decided to pull other stuff from the wall.
But yeah, isn't it peculiar that they show that as a panel? Because that configuration to me is not as pretty as a G2.
No,
because
it's not.
you have that HDMI and network cable coming out in that goofy loop, which because the panel gets warm, the little C clip that's holding it also unglues itself, and also due to vibration, because there is a lot when you listen to music or movies. It's gotten a little better with it, but it still rattles to hell. The panel itself, not the theater. Theater's solid as rock on that.
With these, there's HDMIs on the bottom, which I guess you can't get to with the C2.
No, they're on the side. Everything is on the side. Like if you can go full screen on that.
Yeah, but my HDMI 3, 4, and 5, I think, are on the bottom of this panel.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, so you can't get to those in here.
No.
I mean, not that it matters a lot because you tend to use the one in the theater, but currently, for my cable management, I actually use those HDMIs in the bottom.
For what?
For my Apple TV and for my Nook. Just because it's closer to where the hole for the HDMI comes out, and it's easier to manage and whatnot. And like
but you don't have it installed. on a table. I mean, you just have it hanging on the wall though.
Yeah. But for the G2, you at least have cover panels, and you can like route all these cables nicely in like sort of gully that they made, where you can push it in and with retaining clips, and it's all nice, and you have a cover plate and shit. And
Yeah, there's two cover plates for the G2, which is the wall bracket cover plate and wire management cover plate that comes in.
yeah,
And there's one little mystery piece that I couldn't figure out where it doesn't show it on the video. Where does it go? I do not know, and I can't figure out. Can't figure it out. One day I will. I'll bring the piece next time on the podcast.
but the HDMI 2, the eARC port, is definitely on the side, so that would just be here on the back.
Mm-hmm. No, it just goes and it goes into the right there. It goes into the center of the VESA mount. It still looks ugly in my eyes. Like it just doesn't, it's fine. I like that loom that they're using. It's really, really interesting fabric. But go to like 65 and 77, see if the panels change. I don't think they do. I think it's all C2s.
Yeah, it's still C2. It's 65. 77 is still 65 or C2.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It just gets a lot bigger. I wonder if the C277 actually has the same rattling issue, because like this whole back end gets so much bigger already versus 65.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you till I put one together like that.
Yeah.
But so far, like as soon as that issue was discovered, or more or less, it became an issue publicly. We haven't sold any of those with the C2 panel. Everything goes G2, no problems whatsoever.
Good.
And it's a better panel. It's better built. Like you can tell, it's better built. It's nice and it's thicker, which it's not a bad thing, especially when you deal with something like 77 and you put in a motorized floor stand, and you don't get that wiggle and shit, because it's a big waffle. Like that's all it is.
But thicker, like it's still what, like 2.5 centimeters, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not exactly thick.
No, it's not like an old JVC plasma or something, for God's sakes. But like it's thick enough that like it basically almost fills in both the entire gap between the aluminum fins.
Yeah.
Or the wings, you call them.
Which isn't a lot.
No.
I mean, but it's not one of these W wallpaper LG panels.
What do you mean?
Oh, those are the ultra thin ones where like the whole control box is in like a separate speaker in the bottom, and it's just the OLED panel, and you hang that with magnets. But
so
apparently those magnets can come off the wall as well, because I've seen a few people where it came off the wall.
Ooh, that would feel bad, bro.
Yeah.
It's probably not cheap panel either.
No, I'm not sure they even make it anymore, but they had it for I think they had it for the 9 series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Sandeep saying W series doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, this is the ticket. I'm not gonna go 77 because that's full crazy. But put it on a table stand on a 77, because just like we have it in the intro. Because that would be something also to be entertained as an idea.
Here, the table stand is aluminium, or at least
yes,
because that's black in real life.
Turn around.
Wait, is there supposed to be then a cover plate you can put on top of it, or?
I'm certain of it. There's a cover plate that comes on top.
But so far, like when people order them like this, they don't come with a cover plate in aluminium on top.
Which ones? This is not the one that you get out of the box, though.
No, the table stand. The table stand like this.
I haven't seen it like in flesh. I have not installed one of those, but it looks like it's aluminium.
Yeah, but it's not. It's black.
No cover plate unless it's another option.
I mean, it's in the intro like twice on a stand like this. 3 times, actually.
That's interesting.
So maybe
Because that looks like it's a finished piece. Like you can see that it matches the whole deal.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just black. It's like that crinkle finish black texture.
Black model cast metal. So this is probably just an incorrect rendering of it.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the Beolab 50s in black that had the black wings, but not in real life.
Fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
Oh, it's 4 times actually. Here, I'll pull up a picture. See, it's just black.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I mean, I don't think it looks bad, but like it's
No, it doesn't. But like you would assume that the stands were always in like either the machine circle, right, or
yeah.
brushed look, or I guess polished or something like that. Glass like silk finish, like it's on. No, it's not on. It's not done on Harmony. Harmony has a solid block of aluminum that is brushed.
I mean, guys, says black reflects on the hull section.
I know.
But the other way around, the aluminium would also reflect whatever is above here into the hull and then forward again.
I don't know. I think the naturally. I think the polished aluminum would make it look go away completely. Like you would notice it as much as that because that just goes right into the bow of the speaker, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of see it. I mean, maybe it's something for STB to make where you can just buy a covered, like a like a semicircle, half circle that you just slide over. That could
Or
be
just
nice. Or B&O could make it, but like,
should take one. What's it called? I have a plate cover from the old BV9.
I
Stick that on there.
mean, that could
But
work.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to the system very much. Yeah, 65 is good enough size for me in this one bedroom. I'm gonna pull the 18s out of the storage too.
I mean, 65 is still the way to go, in my opinion. It's the most beautiful version.
Hmm.
Like, and that's regardless almost of what screen you put on top of it.
Yes, no, I completely agree with you.
Maybe
It's
don't put 55 on top of it, but the theater itself in 65 is the best looking.
it's like a try hard Eclipse. Fucking. That's an insult to the speaker if you want to try hard Eclipse out of a theater.
I still don't hate the Eclipse, but it wasn't. It sort of didn't know what it wanted to be. It wanted to be like a BV7 and a BV11 all at once.
I guess in today's politically correct terms, it would be a transitional TV. Because they were going from Samsung to LG, and that was the first TV that was a transition.
Yeah.
When it comes to technologies and everything else, but
yeah, but more in terms of styling, right? Because if you didn't look at the speaker, it was the square of a BV11, let's say.
I despised the style of the TV when it first came out. I could not look at it. I'm like, this looks so goofy. This looks like if you just took a 7.6 and slapped it on a BeoVision 11 right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And took the frame out. Like I never liked that TV, and I had it, and I looked at it for a long time, and like the picture was great, the sound was okay on its own. With 90s, it can't really hold a candle to the wind, but I just never liked. I never liked it. I never like. It's just like some of those things that you just don't like. I have clients that can't stand the look of lap threes and shit. Like that's just it. Done. They look like eyeballs. So,
I mean, question for the theater owners that have it on that sort of table stand thing. What if you had a cover that was aluminium and sort of shiny like the anthracite or anthracite version, like on the Harmony? Would
that's
it be
nice.
would it be better if it was like aluminium like that, or is it sort of like because it's cast and wrinkly, like sort of like?
Well, that's what I just don't understand is that like to have that finish on the table stand. I haven't seen that in person, so I can't really comment on it. But if it looks like it's just a porous cast a finish, then I'm not a big fan.
I mean,
I'd rather
it's
put
it's
it on
not as rough, but
Mm.
how would you? It sort of is the texture of the legs of the Harmony.
Oh, okay. So
So
it's just painted metal
yeah. So it's not like
over the
it's
processed metal.
yeah. It's not bad, but it's not as high end as the rest is.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's pros and cons to either. Like, it doesn't take away from the theater, but as in, like, it keeps your focus the right way, sort of.
I don't know. I found it always annoying. Like when I had the Beosound 14, and I had it on a table on a on a wall on a floor stand, and you could always see the reflection because like the continuity of the aluminium was interrupted by the pad,
Yeah.
and it always graped on me. And I'm like, I should have just gotten a black frame that I would have never seen it.
So
But
yeah, it's black here too.
mhm.
So, but I'm sort of in two minds about it. Like on the floor, I sort of get why it's black, but on the table, unless the table is black, it's sort of, I don't know.
It
Like,
looks cool on this picture, or like
yeah,
in this space. That's a great. I wonder how it sounds because that thing definitely has got a lot to work with behind itself as far as the acoustics, or how the theater compensates for that because that's a very peculiar location for a TV.
yeah.
But it is cool as hell, man.
But yeah,
But
the floor stand or the table stand as a floor stand actually works quite well.
mhm. Well, for a 77, it definitely does. 55 would look like somebody forgot it there. It's too small. But
Where did you leave the TV?
that's
Like,
right.
oops.
Yeah, but this definitely works. I like the 20 in the front. So yeah, that's gonna have a nice sound in there. That is for certain.
I mean, I was amazed with making the new intro. How many people already had theaters, which
Hmm.
is good
It's
news,
good.
really.
Exactly. Should have bought stock.
I mean, it just for whatever you see online in chatter about it, it does go to show that it's a hit in the sales anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, when a BV 11, 14 Avant came out, would you install this many?
No, no. On the 14, I honestly I couldn't even get it in not working condition. I couldn't get it in one piece into Calgary when shipping was such a bad. It was a huge issue with shipping. So I eventually sold none and turned around the one that I got even for the demo because it's just like I'm sick and tired of reshipping the frames. And Horizon, I think that TV was more or less a disaster. If you compare it to a V1 40 inch, V1 would run circles around it when it comes to acoustics. But
Added in the BV14 uninstalls.
pretty much, yeah, that operating system, the Google deal that they've gone with, that I think was a massive mistake. I think they should have just stayed with what they were, and but I think that was also that part of the transition to the Eclipse, right? When because the LG was on that operating system on the Googles at the time, right? And then they switched to iOS or OS or whatever the hell they are now. I don't
WebOS.
remember. WebOS.
I don't remember either, but uh I have a feeling it's sort of, I don't know, an Android thing where they don't overbuilt in spec to leave room for future updates.
Hmm.
Like, it's built to like whatever it needs to run the current TV, but like they don't take into account the next 2-3 years of updates. And WebOS is a bit better that way.
Yeah, but they also don't want you to keep the TV for that long.
Yeah, I
Also,
mean, but
so
LG, what is it now? It supports any TV for at least 3 years, if not five now, in software and security updates and that sort of stuff.
hmm.
Which is a I don't know, almost an indication of like we're okay with you having a TV for 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Well, I'm planning to keep the theater and the TV that I buy for it for at least 5 years,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna replace the panel if the panel goes to shit. Like the panels are cheap. Like it's the theater, the bottom sound part. That's what feels bad about the Eclipse. Like a lot of people are gonna be stuck with the sound center, and over time, barely anything will fit on it probably when it comes to the panels because there's always a different offset, but you can somewhat fidget it in there, I guess.
I mean, the
But
theater does have a big offset range.
oh, theaters, and fuck it, if it doesn't fit, put it on the wall, man. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I can only really see TVs becoming thinner because that seems to be the, I don't know, the trend. Like thinnest is best, even if it totally fucks up the native sound. But we don't care about that anyway, as we use external sound.
Yes.
Marky asks, how is the availability of the theater now being such a hit? Can imagine a success of stretching B&O logistic channels.
I'm certain of it.
It depends a bit on the dealer and that sort of thing, but I mean, initially there weren't any waits, and now there are. I don't think it's excessively long, but it depends a bit on where you are, what the local stock is, your specific dealer. Like
region is very specific. Like we have enough theaters now to fulfill all of the purchases till the end of December. I'm installing shit all the way to 29th, I believe. And then
September next year?
Sorry, not September, December. The fuck am I talking about? And then January, I think there's gonna be a fresh batch coming in, and that's where I'm gonna get my hands on one of them for sure.
Sweet.
So, yeah, I'm gonna look forward to put it together. I just don't know with who.
I mean, yeah. I'm happy when people come back on the Discord and more or less say, not so much that like you're right, but say similar things about the theater and under 28s or whatever. It's like, because one thing that bothers me as like reviewing things, right, is like there's a lot of like personal preference in it, and I try to take it out, but I also know I'm biased. But it's like, will people just see me as biased, or will they actually see me as like
objective?
Yeah. And I mean, I know I'm crazy for being like, hello, I have a Beolab 17 problem at the moment.
At the moment.
It may change to something else.
Soon enough, probably.
But it's fun to hear when you, like, I've only seen here or there where people are complaining about mumbling. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 comments, but I still haven't really come across it. Where people say
what?
Like the voices, like remember like when it launched, Henrik had that launch event, and he said something along the lines of the one he was listening to anyway, the voices were kind of shit compared to the rest of.
It could have been that they probably, or somebody accidentally may have factory reset the thing, and then you just didn't plug the speaker, or I mean microphone in, and it was just going off of default measurements. And that doesn't sound the greatest in my ears that I had tried it. And once you tune it, man, it fucking works. Like, it just works.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'm wondering is that it could also be newer media, because a lot of new shows are terrible on the dialogue. I mean, they're badly mixed. Actors are speaking badly. As in, they don't pronounce it, so they go like, oh, I have my lines.
I think it has something to do with the fact that they're mixing it for cheap-ass TV, where it's just nothing but mid-range shooting out of it.
Could also be,
So they boost nonsense all around it, and then you sit here on a beautiful system, and you're like, What is wrong with the sound? Well, that's what's wrong with it because you are one to maybe 300 people that owns a high-end system of some sorts that consumes the same media off of just a panel, maybe with like a freaking Sonos soundbar or some nonsense.
Which is already a massive step up from the panel itself.
Regular panel, yeah. Like, I'm kind of glad that they realized the fact that we're not going to be in a speaker game whatsoever here. Like, just screw it. Like, as far as the TVs are concerned,
Yeah.
I think it's a great compromise that they've made. Just concentrate on the sound, on the picture, and let people figure out the sound from third parties.
I mean, I'm still thoroughly enjoying the LG B&O combo. It's I think they've
Hmm.
done well on that. I have been satisfied with it since basically the Eclipse.
The only thing I dislike now with the goofy update is the life is good at the end when you turn off the panel.
Oh,
Like, that's just
you can turn it off with the LG remote. I found.
how.
You press the mute button 3 times, and then you get into the secret menu and you can turn it off. Because I managed to turn it off. And I was
No fucking way, dude. That's an achievement award right there.
yes.
That
I
is
must
an
say I
achievement
did
award.
have help. This wasn't my own. The captain helped me
I'm doing it tomorrow to all the TVs in the shop.
because that bothered the shit out of me as well.
Yeah, dude. That would bother the shit out of me. It still does.
You
Like,
can't do it with the B&O remote though, so you
no,
need
you
to
have
get
to
it.
do it with the LG, the Magic Wand nonsense.
Yeah, and I mean, me as a dumbass, when I couldn't do it, I was pressing the pause button and not the mute button.
Mm.
And
Is the
being so
TV need to be
fucking
off?
ingrained in B&O, right? Like, pause and mute are more or less the same function. So, like, I didn't, like, fully understand. Like, the pause is there, and then the mute is somewhere over there on the remote. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, I had the wrong button the whole time. I was being an idiot.
So, did you have the
Like,
TV turned on
yeah,
or
yeah,
off?
on. I was just watching something, and you go 1, 2, 3 on mute, and then you get on the right side of the panel, you get a secret menu, and you can turn off the
How is
wallpaper.
that a secret menu, bro? Like, that's some like kid can play with it and accidentally hit this shit 3 times and screw up your TV.
Yeah, but there's minimal things you can do in there.
Okay.
So it's basically only annoying things that you can turn off or on in there, like
Oh,
life is
okay.
good.
That is awesome. I'm doing it tomorrow.
I mean, if you have an installer remote, I think you can add or get some more functions with certain keystrokes,
Hmm.
which is I'm not going to be bothered. I think you can like set different color spaces on your screen and stuff like that, and supposedly it's more accurate. So I think you can set it to Rec 2020 or something.
Can you delete the samples folder?
I don't know. I really
That
don't
would be
know.
one thing I would love to delete is those fucking 6 pictures that it always keeps defaulting into, and I cannot build a macro around it in the gateway because it always does something different every time it starts. Like, sometimes it just goes to straight to media player and then it goes to the proper folder when like have down left down okay, and sometimes it just loads that stupid samples folder, which doesn't matter because it just skips through 4 pictures basically, and then there's 2, and then it goes to screensaver.
Yeah.
So, not a fan.
Generic enthusiast over on Twitch says, "Hey, try 1113111 for HDMI override."
What does that do?
Apparently, not go into any of the LG sources, so you can override the those pictures coming up with 3 times 1, 3, and then 3 ones again.
Fucking paste it in the chat in YouTube's.
Uh,
I'm definitely gonna be going back into this.
I'll paste it here. Thank you, Mr. Generic Enthusiast.
Thanks, buddy. 111311.
I mean,
Okay.
at this point, we need to start reading manuals for LG as well.
It seems like it, because where do you get those anyways? Like, there needs to be some sort of a deep, in-depth installer menu or configurations menu.
I think if you have an installer remote, you can get to certain shit like that, because the installer remote is not the same as a regular Magic Wand thing. It has
I would
like
imagine so.
20, 30 extra buttons on it.
Oh shit.
And you can get to certain places with certain digit combinations, and I don't know them, but they just, I don't know, look for YouTube videos. There's several people that are playing around with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, that's a good idea. Shit.
I mean, by the way, since there's 50 people of you here and you all, or a lot of you contributed to the new intro, I'm going to rant at a few of you. And I mean this nicely, because the amount of people that have their phones set to shoot in 4:3 instead of 16:9 is really annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't fit right on the screen.
Yeah, and also with the intro, that's why all the black bars on the side are there. Because they're all 4:3 pictures.
Fuck.
I mean,
Isn't there a whole movement against the portrait mode?
yeah.
That's a proper one. But it's still, yeah, you get the black bars. I guess they did us courtesy so we can be on the sides.
Yeah, I guess. Hold on. I set the boundaries wrong, and now it's not. It's fucking up again. God damn it.
Boundaries. Oh, for your display.
Yeah. Hold on. This is gonna look weird for everybody.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I told you it's just gonna look weird.
That is weird. Why does it do that?
Because it's only a quarter of the picture that's
Oh, I see.
uh
So that shit keeps going on in the infinity there behind?
for now, and then there's you. And where am I?
Oh, so you're basically like going on with the screen on your screen.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, but so okay. There you go. Good. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I'm nearly there. Come on. So we can do stuff again. Sorry about that.
Do it.
But yeah, everything is 4:3 basically, and for most people that I have a feeling most people don't know, but there is a setting in most camera apps that you can just shoot pictures in 16:9. Also, if you care to ever print them as pictures, they will fit right in a photo frame if you shoot them in 16:9.
I'm actually wondering, looking at this picture, what sources does the Beosound Essence remote trigger in the theater? Because obviously it's a volume controller and standby, but does it just go to TV? I guess.
I think so.
But then if you press TV, does it go to live TV on the LG panel? That's interesting.
Yeah. Generic Enthusiast says, is there a no standby image option in the hidden triple mute menu? I think so. So you don't get the standby images and nonsense.
That's sweet. I'm so trying that tomorrow.
There's a bunch of YouTube videos on it. That's how I...
How you found out?
Yeah. So that's under the 3x mute menu. You can set a bunch of that stuff as well. But I'm so much happier now that life's good nonsense is gone.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
But yeah, these are some of the pictures I had to use, I used for, the new intro, and I had to make a selection out of, so I might as well show you. So if people are awfully offended that something isn't in there, let us know in chat, and I'll supplement it or add it or whatever. I'll figure something out how to do it.
No, but intro's only so long, and like if you get too many pictures, then it's going to be basic like a Rolodex, right? So
4x3 may capture a larger area. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, 4x3 is slightly
well, yeah,
different.
because you're basically using the entire sensor, but the problem is then you have to stand back far enough so you can crop it properly.
Yeah.
That would be my back at you. So, but that's your own. So you're not. You got chosen.
But these are my
16
like. So this is like the difference, right? Like 4x3 versus
Mhm.
16:9.
Yeah, it's a little too compressed.
It takes up way more of the screen, and it will actually fit in the photo frame. Because most photo frames nowadays are 16:9, not 4x3. And also, if you want to put it on any display, almost all displays now are 16:9. I haven't seen a computer or TV display in 4x3 in decades now.
It's probably those pinball machines and the custom making for them. That's about it.
I mean, the 4x3 is like from the VGA era, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, when the widescreen came out.
Proud. Oh, he just needs to be different. Proud 16:10 and 14:9. You sure?
Oh God.
I guess you can crop in that, and that's fine. Just make sure nothing important is on the edges.
That's right.
But if you crop anything 4x3, you're gonna miss a lot of the picture generally.
Yeah. That theater must kill in that room.
Yeah. I mean, I have an iPhone too, and you can just set it permanently to be 16:9.
Mm-hmm.
It also gives you a wider, you have the yellow bits, right, where the border is, because it usually doesn't fill the whole screen on a modern iPhone. So if you set it 16:9, all of a sudden it's wider, and it's more of your phone screen.
Mm-hmm. So which pictures didn't make it?
A bunch of these. Because, I mean, this one did. There's Kitty. And there's Doggo in there as well somewhere. But I thought, like, a matching cat with a matching interior with a matching Beosound 2, that's just sweet.
People buy matching pets to their furniture.
I mean, you don't see Beosound 2s in this color often, and
no,
they usually don't. Usually, it's the odd color in the room at that point, but it kind of really fits here.
Mm-hmm. No, it looks good.
So like this one made it in.
Yeah.
Where are we? You probably see it now.
Yeah. Oh, mine made it in. I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention. God damn it.
No, I didn't notice it at all.
I mean, because it's nice and it's gold, and you don't see gold often yet.
No.
You
B&O needs to figure out, or LG needs to figure out, if there is a way to do this in black frame, because it would look much nicer if that was black.
Yeah.
Or
this is, by the way, the back of the G2 we were talking about earlier with the cover panel, and
that's right.
It's just much cleaner than the C2.
Yes, you see a little bit of the HDMI and a little bit of the network port or plug in the center of the right hand side panel, and then everything is inside.
I personally wouldn't want necessarily the HDMI to be covered, just in case you ever need to like unplug and like unless the cover is really easily removable. But then I would worry about rattles and stuff.
No, it's on. It's got 3 those rubber retainers on the pegs, and it's also held by, once you put the VESA bracket on, like it holds it nice. This is not going to rattle. Like, yeah, if you fuck around with it and you open it up and close it up and open it like a couple times over and over and over, then yeah, you will have an issue over time. But no, like those are solid as rock for uncommon use because you're not gonna go there, like I said.
I
And
mean,
most of the people that we're putting these systems for, the fucking bell box, which is a nightmare, but we finally got the puck table for it, so I'm looking forward to testing that tomorrow as well. But most of the people just plug in an Apple TV. Like we don't even run a puck table to them because like that's all CEC controlled through ARC and
yeah,
whatever. Like you don't really. It's just seamless. It works properly, and there's really
I
nothing
mean,
else that you need.
the only thing I think CEC on the Beo Remote 1 doesn't do for me is the green button going to the home
Hmm.
screen.
Yeah.
But I've never used that, and I'm really not bothered to press back twice more.
Can you not press long back? Like just hold it down and it goes to exit?
Maybe. Actually, never tried that. Maybe.
Because it used to do that on the BO4, but that was on the puck table. But
I'll
I
check
don't
it
know.
later.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, I think Anders, by the way, over on the Discord, he actually wrapped the aluminium on the LG panel.
Oh, did he?
He wrapped it black, and it looked like it should, really.
What did he wrap it with? Fucking electrical tape? Like,
No, 3M vinyl wrap.
oh, okay. Sick.
I mean, it's I guess that's something a customer can ask for. It's a pain in the ass to do, probably.
I wouldn't do it. There's no way I would have patience.
And then with
and
a
even
super sharp knife next to your OLED pixels.
fuck that. No, sir. I just wish that they come out with LG comes out with something that is,
I mean,
different
my
color or
C2
black.
has black edges. I mean, my dealer just ordered it that way. I didn't know it was available. I was sort of like content to live with like the aluminium edges and sort of like go, well, whatever. It doesn't match, but it's not attached, so it's not so obvious.
Hmm.
But this picture made it because I liked how the dog is sort of peering at the theater. But as we
Hmm.
heard last week, it's actually he's peering at cookies in the in the back.
That's funny. Yeah, that's a nice photo. Nice setup.
I mean, thank you everybody for sharing the photos. I mean, there's a lot of them, and I mean, when it's two or three of the same thing, it gave me some options to pick from, and the sort
Yeah,
of
this is a nice picture, but yeah, it's just a wrong format. But then again, it works because all the speakers are vertical.
actually, I for that one, I I just took two, put them next together, and made it 4x3 again.
Hmm.
I took one of my bad bad, like the what's it, selfie style,
Portrait.
yeah, that, and just added and made it stick two together, and you have 4x3 again.
Nice.
So more theater. This one is in there with one of Anders's. Oh.
This setup I don't understand. Is it like just for the show of it,
No,
or
it's
is it?
more like showing size comparison,
Yeah, that's what I
which I
thought it
think
was.
is kind of funny. Like because it's the same era, right? But then you have
Hmm.
the mighty Beolab 3, but it's tiny.
It's funny how they like. It's funny to me that that was considered, and it was the best speaker, most powerful speaker that they've ever made. And then they just like 90s just swept them off the table completely. Like, get the hell out of here! 2,000 watts, 2,500 watts.
Yeah, but they're still a design icon.
Oh yeah. So which ones? What's next?
I mean, I think one of these pictures is in there too.
Yeah, I think I saw that one there, or one of them.
I mean, I don't know what sub this is, but it's a nice little setup for records and
Hmm.
stuff. I actually like that the sort of the records can sit sort of semi in the table thingy.
I just wonder how that record player holds up to the subwoofer underneath it. Or is it the acoustic balance principle sub and it fires both ways and it cancels the vibration?
I don't know.
But because that would be something that I would wonder. Like if you juice up the music, like you got everything rattling with you. So you're basically also listening a reverb from the sound that is around it through the needleback.
Yeah.
Be an interesting setup. That's for sure.
I
It looks
mean,
cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks fucking cool. Like I
it's.
like how everything's symmetrical and it just fits.
I mean, not to dox anybody, but it's Canadian, so it's quite literally cool at the moment. It's cold.
Oh yeah, is it snowing yet? No, not yet. It's supposed
Yeah,
to snow.
it's supposed to be like -7 or -8 here tonight.
Yeah, same here. -10, I think, which is it's -6 right now. It's not bad comparatively to like what Calgary's going through. Fudge. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Miss the people, but not the weather. Fuck.
Yeah, but as you see, thank you everybody for sending multiples because it allows me
Hmm.
to like pick
I
stuff
like that
out.
lamp.
Yeah,
No, that's a good setup.
I mean the only thing here I would say that's partially why I didn't choose it is like too many buttons and controllers
Hmm.
and and things.
It's too busy.
Like I like the essence. The Nest is sort of like okay, uh, and then you have
What
the
a-
IKEA ones and the regular lamp ones. It's like
yeah, it's too much.
you would go mad. You would automate that into one setting thing.
Yeah, well, you're limited to what you can do with it. As far as the lights, yeah, it would be just a keypad and the Nest above it, I guess. That is one of my favorite pictures,
I mean,
I must say.
this is so beautiful.
Hmm. That is one of my favorite photos for sure.
I mean,
For sure, I
and I
love that coat hanger.
yeah.
If it is one.
Well, I think there's lights on there or something.
Oh, it's a lamp.
Yeah,
That looks very nice.
but I think this kind of proves that, like, just because you have I don't know 690s in surround or something, that's not the best whatever. I
Hmm.
mean, because this is one of the prettiest pictures, and it's not the most expensive setup. I mean, it's not cheap because 18s aren't cheap anymore, and a theater isn't exactly cheap as you see it here. But
That's exactly what I'm gonna have.
are you going to take
And
your
it's
18s out of the storage too?
I think more shit I unpack, the quicker the visa process will happen. So, and then I'm just gonna feel as bad, put everything back in. But at that point, I'm not too worried. Yeah, this looks sweet. Absolutely awesome.
I mean, I could make an intro that's like I don't know 10 minutes long and use all the photos, but then you see everything 2-3 times from a slightly different angle.
Yeah. No, I think we're doing good.
Oh, I copied these in.
Oh, that's the shape.
Yeah,
This is interesting. But I would have put the uh, extrusion bar underneath or underneath where the LEDs are and put the LEDs in it with the acrylic lens on it so you don't see the dots.
yeah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is on LEDs is to see the dots.
It could also be that you don't see it with the naked eye, and it is something a camera sees.
Mm,
I mean, you know how you see that silver ring in the theater with the camera always, and when you walk past it, you don't see it at all.
yes, no, I get it. But yeah, that's a nice shape setup. I
Yeah.
really like that.
I mean, because on my LEDs over there, there's no cover on it to like. It's just a bare LED strip,
Hmm.
but you don't see any of the lights. But I bet you if I take a certain camera angle of the light, you see like the individual beams.
Hmm. And this is a nice setup. I like that shape.
Yeah,
I like the colors.
rear speakers, it's amazing.
That is. I wonder how many speaker tiles are in there. 4.
Probably.
That's what I would do. See, this is sweet too. Yeah, I'm putting the theater on a floor stand, man. Then I don't have that black nonsense underneath it. Oh, reflecting. Oh, fudge. That's a good old Beosound too.
I mean, some proper
Mark 1.
photography from Anders in 4x3.
He never used his, I guess, because like it's not really that scuffed up. I still have one. I bought it in what? I think I bought it in 2004. No, I got it for Christmas from my
So,
wife
what
at the
kind
time.
of formats did it play? Is it just MP3 or
Yes,
like
up to
the WAV
320. That's it.
the WAV files and stuff don't do?
No, it doesn't do Windows Audio, Media, or WMA, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Windows Media Audio. It doesn't do those. Or it does it, but it's not in a lossless. Like it won't. This won't do lossless. This will do. It caps off at 320 kilobytes per second.
I mean,
But it sounds so good. It sounds so good for its time. And with the A8s, like, once you get used to the sound of the A8s, because, back in the day, like you're coming from these huge overly bassed or bass heavy earpods or whatever, like the Sony Phonetopias and stuff. Like it was really hard to, not hard, but it took me a few weeks to like adjust my ear to this clinically precise sound.
not the.
Not the freaking Sony Explode, right? The subs and shit. But yeah, this thing brings memories, man. It brings back so many memories. Like this product had traveled everywhere with me for as long as till I bought the smartphone.
I never owned one of these, but the buttons are such nostalgia for me. Like, just seem to go. Like, I almost kind of wish it had go on the middle there.
Yeah, dude. And those were like very good quality buttons, like hard rubber. And, for how many tracks I've skipped and how many times I've turned it up and down and how many times I pressed that go button, it never wore out. It never wore out.
Yeah, even BO4s, I mean, it took, what, 10 years to wear one out? If it was your only one? Maybe?
A lot of people that I've seen, it was mostly women because of the lotions. They put hand lotions on, and that it's not good for the rubber. Guys were just rough as shit, like you put a lotion on like a dickhead. Here you go, just grab a remote and up and down.
Yeah, I kind of want to pull this.
I'm gonna make another coffee, bro. What are you doing your Polish thing? What are you polling, anyways?
I'm asking the community, do you use hand lotion, in brackets, for your hands?
Make that specifically clear, goddammit.
And then yes, no, and of course not. So we'll see.
Let's see what happens. Do I have enough water? Yes, I do.
Because, I mean, if at all avoidable, I never ever do.
What?
Like, use any hand lotion, unless, like, my hands are so dry where I literally, like, ball a fist and my knuckles crack up. But that's about the only time I'll ever entertain using hand lotion.
Yeah, I don't use it. Of course not. I like. I
just kind of want to see where we are in that, because maybe B&O needs to then take into account. I mean, if you
they do take into account. They do take into account. I've seen like in the test lab where they were doing all this nonsense. Like they have like synthetic sweat as well, and they rub shit on the remotes. And I've seen I think it was a play button they had, and it was a little like a finger thing, like had I don't know what grade of sandpaper, and it was doing this, and the counter was on like some stupid 15,000 stroke, and it still didn't rub off the play button or the play thing, the triangle. It's pretty. They go through a lot, but then again, like everybody's acidity is different on the hand sometimes, and some people are just more toxic.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's how I grew up with, like you said, the hand lotion thing was always a female thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that ingrained, because I absolutely refuse to use it unless I like go and like it starts bleeding.
Shit's bleeding. That's exactly it too. I'm gonna sit there, rub myself with shit. No. I'm a man, bro.
I just need. It just felt like knowing.
Things you find out about us over the years.
Yeah, or maybe half of our. Oh, it's snowing in London now. Well, then you better start taking out the hand lotion, Sandeep. It will
That's
get
right.
dry.
Oh boy, yeah, it's
No,
not
maybe
snowing
you
here.
all are delicate coders, and like you need to feel that like 1.5 grams of press on your
Oh, here.
keyboard, where we're just like ogres and smacking.
Yeah, I don't use hand lotions at all. Specifically, like for installs and stuff. Like I don't be having picking up a TV all greased up and shit. I'm the only one that is essentially in our group of guys that I always handle product with gloves. I never put my bare hand on shit. They're looking at me like, "How do you put this together with gloves, man?" I'm like, "Watch."
I mean, one thing though I must say is that the white gloves you get with like the Eclipse and Harmony,
They're
I
shit.
I like them, but they take all grip out of your hands. Like
I have a specific set of gloves that I bought from Oakley, and they have the rubber on the bottom, like the whole palm and stuff. Those are perfect. But yeah, like I know what you're saying. With those, you can't really hold anything with them. It's just like bottles of wet soap.
um, I was gonna, but somebody reminded me. Uh,
YankoDesign.com. What is that?
uh, it's they do a bunch of concept designs for B&O and other things.
Oh, really? That looks very Jensen in my eyes.
Yeah.
Is that a world clock? That's cool.
Well, it's basically a giant screen, right? And it's like
hmm
the old Bio Center that can then control your biogram too and volume and that sort of thing.
I like the concept of it. I'm not a fan of the look of the speakers, but I'm really a fan of the whole biogram deal. Uh, oh shit, it's thin too. Interesting. Interesting. Like the speakers are cool, but they're just not my kind of cool, you know?
No, it's not very B&O.
No.
And especially if that's not a tweeter but a bass port. I don't think bass ports are very B&O-ish.
I would say no. Like, what was the last product that had a bass port?
Beolab
A9,
18.
A9, 18s, and that's about it. And then the goofy edge, right, with the active bass port.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't really have that I can think of. No.
But
But yeah,
if
that's
they were to
interesting.
remake a biogram that looked anything like this, yes,
I think that
please.
looks sweet. That looks very sweet.
I mean, yes, please. Take my
hmm
money. Like, I don't particularly feel like spending it, but you'll get it.
Yeah, the sadness of piano addiction.
Hi, my name is Michael. I have a Beolab 17 problem.
Fuck. Bring him into the meeting in the little cart.
Yeah.
I take him with me everywhere.
Well, they're sitting right next to me right now.
There you go. Yeah, this is very Beocenter-ish looking. I like it. I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan of the speakers. They look a little bit awkward to my eye, but to each their own,
I mean,
I
even if
guess.
the sort of Beocentrist kind of streaming deal is available, I'd have that by itself.
Oh, oh. Kareem was fucking cleaning out his drawer in the shop, so
Yeah.
I like got a whole bunch of Bio remote ones. They're all screwed. I just took them to test, and he found the store demo Bio Living Intelligence. They've had it there for like years. so so yeah, well, I took it here. I want to play with it and see what happens. But he found a set of E8s that I took home,
Right.
and
Which
I'm not the
one?
sport, the first edition. Like obviously this drawer hasn't
Yeah,
been.
but the 3.0s or the 2.0s or the 1.0s or
E8.
Yeah, okay, but there's quite a big difference. Like these are the 3.0s, 3.0s.
I don't have the aluminium on it. Do these have aluminium on it? On the
No,
edge? Yeah, they look like that too. But I don't have the shiny ring, bro.
might be the 2.0 then.
Yeah, but they sound really good. I was actually shocked how they sounded. Oh no, I do have the ring. Or do I? No. It's these. They got the little cordy cord too. Little hangy dunglies.
Yeah. No, then you have a 2.0 because I
Yeah,
can't attach a cord on these.
yeah.
No, that's 2.0, I think.
They're shocking how well they sound for. I don't really need them anyways, but now they prove to be a pretty good companion. Because if I'm going outside, I don't want to go out with portals when it's raining and shit. Where these just fit under your hood and toque, and it's awesome.
Also, if you ruin them, it's not as annoying as ruining a set of portals.
Yes.
I mean,
This is pretty cool, I gotta say.
yeah, I like this design language a lot. I'm
Mhm.
not sure it's technically feasible for all of it, but I would love for them to try.
But what is not technically feasible? Like you have, the-
If this is a record player, that the motor is that flat, or
maybe it's a quartz direct draft.
or this where there must be a mechanism in there that the needle follows on a track instead of on an arm.
Maybe it's lasers that read it.
Imagine if you have dust with lasers.
Oh god. Oh yeah, that would sound great.
No, but they not B&O, but other people have made tracking needle stylus like this, where they literally they follow on a sort of belt
Hmm.
across an arm like that. Like you sort of lift the arm up, you put your record in, and the needle
Yeah.
finds where it needs to go, and it tracks like that, almost like the radial arm, but then it's just the needle doing it.
Mm.
So it can be done, but all of those have always been quite thick.
Well, you gotta fit that mechanism somehow, unless you do
Yeah,
it.
but
I
this
don't know.
looks like, if I don't know, like it's
Super thin.
a centimeter thick or something. Like that's close to the thickness of just an MMC stylus.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how they would do that,
But
but it would be cool.
yeah, I mean the sort of Beocenter thing off to the side would definitely work. I mean that's just a
Hmm.
different. I mean it works in an iPad, so why wouldn't it work here?
Yeah, I like it. Not the speakers much, but this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whatever the concept, it's a concept. It's not a real thing, is it?
No, no. It's a concept.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some cool shit out there, definitely. What do you think the B&O is gonna come up with next?
Some people were saying on the Discord that their dealers were saying like hold off on a set of 28s because the the implication was that something would land between the 28s and the 50s. And I just can't fathom that for the life of me. Because
Hmm.
first of all, that would make you even less inclined to sell 50s. And secondly, there's a massive hole in the product stack from 28s and down, really. Like,
Yes,
yes, 18s are icons, but
they're not bookshelf necessarily.
no. But they're also not as powerful as even balances. So, like,
Oh, the balance will just run circles around the 18s, bro. Especially when you
yes,
put them in stereo pair.
but the balance doesn't do power link. So,
Yes.
I, 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 I can't fathom them not going down from 28s first. I mean, if they could, they've proven us wrong at other times. I would think it's stupid. Unless they really don't want that lower end customer and lower end, we're talking about speakers that are probably still
within $5,000-6,000.
$7,000 plus euro.
Mm.
So in dollars, yeah, 9 to 12 or something.
Yeah.
Which would be silly because that is pretty high end.
I think that they should do something in a realm within like the lap 3 to lap 17 size and shape.
I would love for them to do that. I mean, even now that they're basically expanding into the Atmos realm with the theater, like there's nothing you can hang on the ceiling at the moment.
18s.
Yeah, but then they would hang this way, right?
Big stalagmites or stalactites or whatever.
Well, you take the floor stand, you drill 4 holes in it, and you stuck it into the
Put them sideways
onto the wall like that, and you better hope you sit really close to the TV.
Yeah, there's nothing like that they could use. Well, essentially, I guess to combat with the defense would be celestials, but that's not really being a speaker. You know what I mean?
But also, those have to be built into the wall or ceiling.
That's right. It's not an easy fit. Depends on, sometimes you have joists in the way and you can't really fit the speaker where it lines up with anything.
I mean, I can understand if you rent somewhere that, and you're okay with making it a bit of a Swiss cheese and having screw holes everywhere that you patch. But for celestials, like, God, that's a patch. Like, that's an investment to fix that.
It's not that bad, but like the worst part about it is if you do that, you're painting the ceiling.
Yes.
You're painting the whole fucking ceiling all the way to where there's hopefully a door somewhere that it stops.
Yes. So open concept living is out of the question.
That's a real feels bad, man, because now you're going all the way down the hallway till you hit a wall, literally.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of in-ceiling speakers at all.
I mean, I like the Celestials or the older BeoVoxes, but like that's a commitment, much more so than like hanging a set of 17s on the corner or something.
Have you considered like 12-1s for your above head completely?
I have, but like again, they don't sell them at the moment. So like, since we're in the Atmos realm, like my Finnish friend has a bunch of 12-1s everywhere. The bedroom theater has 12-1s in the rear.
See, those speakers should have never been discontinued in my eyes. I don't know why they've done it. They should have just made a Mark II with the WISA module in them, and here you go, buddy.
Eternal bad marketing?
Probably, or possibly.
I mean, they look nothing like 12.2s and 12.3s, so just optically weren't as desirable. Atmos wasn't a thing, so what do you do for height speakers? Like, whatever.
Fair enough. But they could have still, because the true image engine they had, when I was in Denmark, they had the 12-1s on the ceiling.
I mean, have you ever seen those marketed 12-1s?
No. The only time that I've seen just 12.3s basically marketed were with the BeoVision 12 at the time.
Yeah.
Right, because that was like the combo to go to, right? But other than that, no, not at all.
I mean, I could easily advise people go buy some 12-1s, but again, there's nothing current, right? Like, so please make something new to sell. There must surely be something in that area that B&O can do to actually make and sell. I mean, also 12-1s really don't look like speakers.
No, they're very sculptural. I wish I could get to those Mia Ando collection, at least one of them.
Yeah, but those are 12.3s.
Yeah,
I would love those too, but like again, that's not something you would. I'm not even sure. Like in like an apartment like mine, like 12-1s, would I like to have that hang above me? They look sort of, like they sound good, but they look sort of.
They're boring. Yeah, they're boring as hell. I agree. But
I mean, a shape on the ceiling could potentially work, but. Then make something that's dedicated for that, because the actual shape especially the 3D shape, is a bit strange to hang on your ceiling. Like, make some covers for the shape that are hexagonal, fine, but they're flat. That don't like have that 3D effect, right?
Oh, but that would be too thick.
Sure,
In
but
my
if you hang
opinion.
a bunch of them on your ceiling, make like a grid pattern with some sound deadening and whatnot.
I don't know. I wouldn't do the flat one. I like that, the whole texture of it.
I like that on the wall, but from your ceiling, it's sort of like, oh, we have beginning stalactites coming down.
Is your ceiling wet? But yeah,
So
man, you're just egging me on with that setup here. Hey, fuck,
yeah, do it.
I'm gonna.
The captain says the cooling doesn't work when on the ceiling. That's only for the amp. So if the amp is on anywhere else, like the cables can be quite long. If I'm not mistaken, up to 20 meters. So you have, if you can stash the amp somewhere within that sort of range, you'll be okay. Or they make a different amp that works on the ceiling, like the Atmos.
I don't know if you could put Beoamp 2 into it. I don't think you would damage the speakers. Christian, if you're still around, was that ever a consideration, or have you guys played with it? Because I don't want to play with it in the shop. If you break it in Denmark, it's better there than here.
But yeah, like, I mean, the product portfolio at the moment
is lacking small speakers.
Yeah, because you go 18s, 28s, 50s. Well, 20s are technically still there, but they're as good as EOL, I guess.
No, they're EOL now. We have the last two pairs, and that's it.
So it's 18s, 28s, 50s, 90s. I'm not missing any Beolabs, am I? No. You're 19, but it's not really.
It's not a speaker as a speaker is.
No. But like, I would be baffled if they would think it's a good idea to sit something between the 28s and 50s.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick. But yeah, a poopy picture. But that's exactly. That's Florida, baby. That's gonna be a 65. No, it's gonna be 77 when I get there. 65 looks almost nonsensical with 90s.
Yeah, so it'd be like me, get an 83.
No, that's insane.
No. Insane is 97-inch OLED.
But technically, if you think about it, that the floor stand would you be able to support the 83-inch TV? Because like if you can stand on the floor stand, you're much heavier than all that shit together.
Oh
combined.
yeah. No, the floor stand will hold an 83 in terms of weight. It just depends on the bolt pattern, and I think it does. I'm 90% sure because the 83 and 77 have the same VESA pattern.
Oh, it's just how tall the offset is. Even that's what the only thing would probably matter.
Actually, no, they don't, because 77 has 400 by 200, and the 83 has 400 by 400. But I mean that 400 by 400 fits. It's just,
yeah, that would be something, man. 83, but then the wings are starting to get ridiculous at that point. In my eyes.
But yeah, I would. If B&O had any sense, make something smaller that you can make in high volume that looks nice. Is maybe not. It doesn't need to be the highest quality material everywhere, but it sure needs to sound good.
What are you talking about?
Like ceiling speakers, something small.
Right? Oh.
Like if it's more dedicated small speaker that is sort of mainly meant for like height or walls are mounted, it's not something you touch like 28s necessarily. So yeah, I really hope they don't put something in between 28s and 50s, because then nobody's going to buy 50s anymore. Because 28s are already pretty far towards the capabilities of 50s. You know, I'm not saying they're equivalent. That's not what I'm saying at all. But like what we priced out last week, is you can at the moment have 4 28s, a theater, and an 83-inch panel if you wall mount it and not have the floor stand and whatever, for the same price as a set of 50s, and then you still need a core for 50s.
Oh my god. I'll show you something cool that I snapped a picture of.
I forget who sent the V1, which is super cool, but it's a smaller picture and it messed up when I blew it up. It got very grainy, so that's why it's not in the intro.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man. That's a very unique install. There, you don't see much of those at all, as far as the wall ceiling bracket for.
Yeah, Generic
For
Enthusiast
V1.
says like you could have Beolab 14s on the ceiling. Yeah, make something like that or remake them.
Yeah.
That would work. That's fine.
Shit, I gotta crop this again.
I mean, preferably something with WISA if you really don't feel like pulling cables and just want to do a power cable.
Exactly. All right, is this gonna work? Yes, it's gonna work. Save. There it is. Let's throw it in the chat.
In this setup, the only thing you need is one of those cable sock things because otherwise the cabling is done well. But
yeah, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't. Yeah, not allow that. Not allow that.
So it turns out it's about 60-40. 40% of you guys use a hand lotion, and then 30% say no, and then 30% give the correct answer. Of course not.
I misclicked on the no instead of course not, so it feels bad. It would have been different. But right on.
I mean, unless there's 40% women here, and then you're forgiven and whatnot.
That's right. So,
but my YouTube analytics says there's like potentially one woman maximally watching per week. So, so hello.
Right. Hi. You're not as weird as everybody thinks you are.
No. Save as. Where are we?
The modern man moisturizes.
But your face or your hands? It's quite different.
That's right.
Where?
One guy using woman's account. That's funny. I like that picture.
Yeah, Anders takes amazing pictures.
Except the cable management is shiitake mushrooms on there. Where's what?
No, you sent the picture, and it's like I was looking for it. Like, where is it?
It's in the chat, bro.
Yeah, no, well, now it's on screen.
There you go.
God, this thing looks like an NFT.
Right? But it's an actual gold plate that's put on it. Like it's super bespoke, I guess.
For better sound? Just like those gold-plated audio cables?
That's it. It's probably just for the sake of it. It doesn't even have the top cover. Because why would you hide all that, right? Like, it's sick.
Well,
that's something that is up my alley.
The normal ones don't have B&O engraved in there, do they?
No, they don't. It's just black. It's basically the same finish as oh my god, look at the rings or the crowns are like put together.
Yeah.
There's one. Like see the covers? Like that's completely different. That's super bespoke. These probably cost twice the actual regular size price. A regular price.
I'm not sure I like this.
To each their own, but I would never do this to my speakers. I could care less. But
mean, maybe
This
I've
is probably
seen
like
this in
Dubai
Sandeep's
money.
apartment.
But this is probably like Dubai money. I don't know where that. I screenshotted it off the presentation, so. But they asked us for pictures for the next tech meeting, so
Max
I'll
gets it,
definitely.
Bling and Olufsen.
It's a Bling and Olufsen. Probably that's what it's spelled on it. But yeah, even the panels, man, it's all polished, like sick. Like that's sick. I like it, but I would never own it. Like that. Just I don't. I wonder if I think that the bottom of the crown is also polished, and then it's matte. Yeah, because there's
Hmm.
like covers on it or something. It's pretty interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm not even against gold, but there is a way to overdo it, and I think
Well, they found it right here,
yeah.
definitely. Like they did find it right here, but I still, it's not irritating enough for me that I dislike it. It's just something that I would never. Next question, which moisturizer? I don't even know the brands, man. Like Nivea, that would be the only one that I could go off top of my head. Like, what else do you got? Plus, like all the brands are different in around the world.
No, Nivea works, I guess.
Or
Uh,
Lubriderm, Lubriderm. I use O'Keefe's
oh,
working hands. Yeah,
uh,
put it in the chat what y'all's using, man. I'm actually curious now because I just use water to moisturize my hands. I'm lucky that I don't have an issue with it, but some people have like cracking freaking. Well, if I was working in drywall, probably I would have some problems. This is maybe it's Maybelline. You're so right, guy. It does look like that's one of those metal street artists that there are statues. That's what it reminds me of too. Now that I look at it, it's an interesting concept, and I'm quite surprised that they actually made another collar around where the B&O logo is. So I don't think there's even there is no covers for it. 100% there's no cover for it because those peg holes are actually covered by the gold aluminium whatever or gold plates. Oh, that's good. You forgot to put none.
well, no, this is just for the people that use it.
Okay, I'm not gonna answer the question then. I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this poll. Actually, I would just say the one I buy myself, which is like the aftershave. It's the only something fluorine danger. Zero.
well, I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Yeah, the lotion, lotion and emotion, lotion.
I mean, I have more respect for the person that uses hand lotion and they have no clue from where it's from because somebody else in the house just bought it and it's like,
It's
I
like
guess
use
this will
this,
work.
use this. Your hands are terrible. That's a nice picture, actually. I like that.
I mean, these are the special edition 28s.
The vegan moisturizer. Oh god, I'm not giving you my address.
But
Oh
these are
man.
the engraved 28 one, special.
Oh, the special edition.
Yeah, you don't see those often because there's only 28 pairs of them.
Mm-hmm. Those are nice. See in
Yeah.
a theater again. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's like I said, I was actually like I'm not saying this just to say it, but I was truly amazed how many people showed us theaters.
Yeah, a lot of theaters. which is good. I like to see that people not even there's the first adopter scare, right? Usually with B&O, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
this, like, people just got on board and are using it and buying it, which, and it works. Like, there are a couple things that I wish that they were obviously addressed, like the matrix and BeoLink gateway, a little bit more expanded upon. I think that would go a long ways, or longer ways than anything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to mine too.
Swear Raza says working in a medical company, so washing your hands 50 times a day is normal. They provide us with lotion. There's literally a tube in every corner. Well, in that case, then it's whatever is in the house. You're not. It's very sus that they put them in bathrooms too. Well, I guess for medical experiments.
I love how people just defend that shit too. It's funny. I love it. It's not homophobic if you're doing the lotion thing.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. I just
but
make fun of it.
or if, by the way, if B&O wants to make a new speaker, make this a kit for the shape. I'm not even joking. Like, this would be sweet if they sold it as a kit.
The only thing is, how would you'd have to have wire in between them to interconnect, right? As left and right, or have this as a standalone system, which kind of is a little goofy because you don't have much stereo separation then.
Yeah, but if the new core is like Mozart enabled, and you can network pair them.
That's another thought, yeah.
I mean, I would love just also for more marketing in terms of a shape, right? Like, this will absolutely show more versatility. Oh, God.
By really a rose flower, all natural animal free jar glass of lotion. It's $100 an ounce. No, don't do that. If you do that, it's gonna be one of those things that, as many times as I'll move, that's as many times that will come with me and be put in a place in another toilet. It's just sit there till. Oh man, yeah, I don't think I'd use it. This is my favorite photo by whoever lives in that apartment. Fucking kudos, man. That is balls to the wall, awesome. I just love it against the concrete. That's just my weak point.
Yeah, the concrete works really well here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like concrete in general.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like never ever been like painted, because once you paint or put stuff on it, you sort of.
I have concrete ceilings in here in the whole apartment. It's sick.
I mean,
love
it's
it.
shit for sound, but
Oh yeah.
but it's very
okay.
nice for looks.
But it's okay. We'll make it work.
I mean, this was a concrete box as well, and like they
Mm-hmm.
put on the double ceiling, and so that's why I had it plastered, because it's like once you put a bunch of stuff on it, you ruin it, and you never get that natural look back. Because you're not gonna fucking sand this whole place.
Mm-hmm.
Take like years of a paint off of it. Yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sandeep, that the cabling should have been done in a white loom and it would have been completely invisible and a little more tidied up at the speaker entry, because there's they're separate. But I don't know. I guess it's funny now, or ironic to me, like how much I'm hell bent on fucking cable management versus the guys I work with. Like, it's just non-existent almost. They hide it, but they don't hide it like I hide it, where it looks nice.
Yeah, but you've been to Denmark, and they probably haven't.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know there's like corporal punishment on visible wires.
Right. I've been vaccinated against cabling. I went there twice. I went for my second dose in 2016.
I mean,
And ever
yeah.
since then, yeah, wires are a death of mine. I tell you what, I don't like it.
I mean, I'm
That's a
not
nice classic.
as fussy, but like mine are decently hidden.
You'll be fussy in the States because you know you can hide them.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
it's a pain in the ass to do here with everything concrete and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. No, you can just stuff it in the wall, whatever. You know. recessed plugs and blah blah blah. Like there's a lot more you can do here. That's what I like about here.
I mean, I've learned my lesson from Sandeep and who else was it that should have put in conduit. Like I'm gonna pull conduit, so if I ever want to replace a fucking wire, it's not stuck in the ground or in the wall or.
No, conduit. That was the most important thing that I was looking in when I was living in Calgary, the apartment that I was in there. That was a deal breaker. If there's no conduit, I'm not fucking moving in because I pulled all the wires and put Cat 7 everywhere. Like I had this whole house done properly, the B&O way.
It's like if it's like from like you hang a TV on the studs or whatever and down to the theater, like fine, whatever. But if it needs to go like, I don't know, 9 foot that way to a speaker, yeah, that's a pain in the ass to do. Because if you don't have conduit, then every time you need to take the plaster off and go loop through every of the fucking stud, and it's like, no. And if you tie them together, then most likely you're gonna damage something, or and you like crimp them and you do your thing, and then you turn it on, and it's like that as soon as you change volume, and it's like, god damn it.
That's funny. It's good on the ventilator part, though. Couldn't hear the podcast.
Oh, that's why you need a theater, so you can turn it up more.
That's right. This is also a classic picture.
I mean, this is a classic fireplace. Holy God.
You can see that cartoonish outline, black outline, which is basically a cable going down.
Yeah.
It's probably from the speaker. But yeah, those are the piano black edition. When the heck did they come around? 2014, I believe it was.
Yeah, 1 or 2 years before the end of it. So it could have actually been 2012 because they ended in 2014, didn't they?
No, they didn't. They ended later than that because I remember.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, what am I thinking? Like because the 50s came in 2017, so they ended in 2015, I think.
But the 90s, yeah, replaced them basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Two Theaters. There we go.
Yeah, Sandeep waited so late. The installers are all booked, so he can't have them until January.
Oh, feels bad, bro. You have them at home? Or they're waiting at the dealer, I guess.
Yeah, maybe you should fly over and help him.
You know how busy I am here, dude? Like, my mom's coming in a week after next, so I might skip the podcast. I don't know yet because I want to have 4 days with her. And
sorry, when are we next weekend?
No, week after next.
Yeah,
let's see.
It's Christmas.
Oh no, it's actually this weekend. Yeah, 16, 17, 18, 19. She's here.
Okay. Well, I mean, we meant to talk about it, but like the 25th, I'm for sure not doing this. Like,
yeah,
I take it you're also doing something for Christmas, like on Christmas Day.
I don't know what I'll do because I'm staying here. I'm not going home, but I might go to my to Karim's for dinner or whatever.
I mean, if you're bored, we may do something late at night or something, or
yeah,
that would be.
I don't care.
But
after dinner and stuff, yeah.
My mother-in-law is here, and we're definitely going to do Christmas stuff. So, like, I also don't know who's going to be wanting to watch this on Christmas Day. Like, let us know if you have a keyboard handy. Could you please let us know? Like, do you want anything on Christmas Day, which seems like a really odd day?
Yeah, exactly.
Under asks, Willie mentioned that the balance would run circles around the 18. If you could, at some point, pair balances to the theater, would you recommend getting the balance instead?
100%.
Yeah, me too.
100%. Also, it's got the room sweep, so they tune themselves, and then the theater would basically pull the full potential of that speaker. Absolutely.
I had a balance here, and I'm not sure if it's in my review video, but I remember in editing, it may be up on the YouTube, but I turned it up sitting right here, and I started looking over to my 18s like, fuck me, this is like less than half the price of an 18, but it's so much more.
Yeah, acoustically there, and when you stereo pair them, it's just insanity. Like how much better they sound than the 18s. I would also almost compare them to the 18s with the 19 sub.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure they compete with 17s because the 17s
Yes, well, they're their own animal, right?
which is a weird thing to say because the 18s are more expensive, but like it's
Mm-hmm.
just the physical limitations on the 18s with those 4-inch drivers versus two, what is it, 5.25-inch drivers on a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's much more bass potential everywhere. I'm happy somebody chose floral and dainty. I appreciate you being honest, although there's no name attached to it.
It's so funny. Oh God. But yeah, I would definitely like if that is on the roadmap and you actually can do the balances and let's say even levels or I don't think that I would go as far as emerge, but you could use emerge as rear surrounds or rear backs instead of surrounds because surrounds still have a little more. But you could get away with a lot more. It'd be sick, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
Then
or
the
you
only thing that you'd have to have a very, very solid network. Very solid network. Like you couldn't possibly piss about with like whatever the cable company has to give you. That you have to go well ubiquity for me. That's the only way.
yeah, some Netgear works, but I try to avoid their mesh. The Ubiquity Unify Mesh works great. I have that and it's flawless.
Hmm.
And again, it's because I can't pull fucking wires anywhere. And my
Hmm.
electrician was when I asked because there's conduit in the ceiling, right? But
Hmm.
electric runs through that, and I asked him like,
Hmm.
could we potentially skirt the lines a bit and go Ethernet through there as well? He's like, I'll do it, but it'll be shit for your signal potentially.
Hmm.
Like, I can't guarantee it because you're not supposed to put like that low voltage with high voltage in the same conduit, right?
Bro, they have everything zip tied with the Lumex, which is the electrical cable, and cat cables here
Yeah.
downstairs. I was looking, just complete disregard, or not even disregard. They don't even know. It's electricians. They don't know these things. They just zip tie together. It's
Well,
just,
mine did,
but
but he
these,
was willing
yeah,
to, but it's like it could be that I'm just pulling you a Cat 7 cable at however many euro a foot, and then we put it in, terminated, and then it's shit, and you
mhm,
still owe me.
exactly.
And it's like, he was very honest in that sense. It's like, well, okay, then let's not.
Mhm. I agree with Guy, but if if they're not gonna put the power link in that speaker, that's just what it is. It's as it is. But
But
if the Mozart platform allows for pairing Mozart platform speakers to it as surrounds on the theater, I don't think you really need the power link input anymore. Like your power link input would be basically a wired network connection. That's because that's what I would wire the speaker.
yeah, but the theater also has a network hub or a switch in there.
Hmm.
So it could literally make that network connection over its switch with a wire. So you wouldn't be
Yeah.
dependent on the Wi-Fi, which would be sweet. Because the theater, or sorry, the balance also has a second Ethernet out that you can then go to the other one.
Hmm.
So then you have that whole line of signals on the cable on the network, which would be basically as power link, except you use it as Ethernet again.
Be digital power link, I guess
Yeah.
you could call it that. So.
Secondhand HP says, "Hi guys, I have a theater now for 1 month, but I don't get right. But I don't get right for music with 18s and 19. I'm not sure what that means.
Neither do I, but I think that you need to run your tuning microphone through it properly and select the right speakers you have.
Yeah. Also, if you leave the standard settings with tuning, it'll tune for everything. And if
Yeah.
you want left and right for just music, you need to take the theater out of it.
Yeah, uncheck it and then run the calibration microphone again.
Yeah.
For every new listening position, I've learned you have to do a microphone calibration. Doesn't matter. I do not understand what the function of the duplicate means. Then, when you duplicate listening positions, what can you edit other than decibel, and you can't uncheck the speakers that are already tuned in there. So there's no point for duplicating. It's convoluted. It's more or less confusing. I think duplicate should be taken
but you
out
can
of
put
the
it in
menu.
a new position because you can rerun room sense.
But that's what I'm saying. You still got to take the goddamn grill off the theater and retune it. So what's the point of duplicating? Why don't you just start from scratch for every new listening position, just like you do for speaker groups? All the way up to BeoVision Harmony.
I mean, uncheck the theater from the listening position.
Yeah, if you just want stereo, then uncheck that and rerun.
Also, if you go to the listening preset position, whatever you call it, like I call mine 7.x.4 or whatever. If you tap on that, you can tap on the speaker, and then per individual speaker, you can tone them up or down with sliders.
Okay, now you make sense, guy. That definitely, I guess, the duplicate, so you can just change the wide and narrow mode on the 90s, but the tuning is exactly the same. Okay, now I understand. That makes sense. This way it makes sense.
So. Hi guys, do you have an opinion on the Roon server software? Is it compatible with B&O Mozart? Compatible in the sense that Chromecast AirPlay works, but it doesn't run on it natively.
Yeah, Sandy buys a Roon.
I don't use it, but it's compatible in the sense that. But I mean, there's no B&O bit yet that's a Roon endpoint. I don't think.
No.
So you can stream it, sure, but it's not running natively like Deezer does. So there's that.
That's a nice picture too. That's Andres again. Fuck.
Yeah. Secondhand HP. I set 5 configurations, and the best setup is that I put all on 0 and distance and dB. Well, something's wrong there. I mean, go to your dealer and potentially ask if the microphone is faulty or if you can borrow his.
Yeah.
But the microphone is pretty accurate. So if you say it sounds bad, it's maybe because what you're used to. But the microphone is so close that tinkering is pretty much not needed. But if you say the theater is too loud, then either the roles are weirdly appointed, or you need to take it out of the equation altogether by unticking it when you do a room sweep.
As you flicking the red button on and off. Not sure what you're referring to, guy. So yeah, I
so it's
I would suggest the retune. Maybe you know what? Just factory reset the bloody thing and start from absolute scratch.
Write me an email, secondhand HP.
Yeah.
Because and explain what's going on and show me some take some screenshots of your settings and stuff. Because we're sort of shooting in the dark with like a literal line of text, and we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that it would let you go through the sweep if you turn off the microphone. The app will tell you that microphone is off, so you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't scream at you like the Google products do. Your microphone is off.
Fudge.
Yes, I know, on purpose.
And that every time I turn on an LG, because obviously we set him up installing that freaking voice guidance bullshit.
I hate it. I hate it.
Oh my god, I
cannot
much. Fucking say no quick enough ever. But yeah. Plus the headache of the now you have to set up a flipping LG account in order to install the app.
Yeah, I told you it's annoying. It makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense, and it's annoying to the client because usually they're either not home when we're doing this, or if they are, they're on the phone or they're busy with shit, because they're not busy with kids. That's nanny's jobs. But
Yeah.
they are doing something. They're conference calling, so you can't just go in there and like, can I borrow your phone for a second?
Yeah,
Like,
because you also get a code, right, in the email, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
you gotta get them to do, you gotta check your email and confirm, blah blah blah. I'm just thinking like it makes sense just to make like a bogus LG accounts at gmail.com and then just log everybody's TV
Yeah.
into it for the sake of installing the app.
This one is really special, this Bio Center. I forget the number of it, but in white, that's really
Hmm.
rare. And then a basically pristine 7000.
Yeah.
God, I saw one the other day where somebody I don't think realized what they had, and they wanted 75 euros for it, and everything was still functional.
Did you buy it?
It's just to have as a collectible.
Yeah. Did
But
you?
no, because I was too late. I think somebody
No.
just wrote him an email like, "Hey, dude, I'll have it. I'll give you 150. Call it a day."
Fuck. That's funny.
Because if you look on eBay and whatnot, they're really expensive if everything is still intact, and a lot of the glass is broken and or the displays are gone to shit.
Hmm. Yeah, those are organic LEDs. I guess that was one of the first ones. Oh yeah, there's
Yeah,
my picture. Mine still.
yeah, but I couldn't live with the corner being cut off from the top.
No, I know. It was a quick pick because I was just getting out, and it's a 4x3 too. What the fuck?
It's Olufsen
Yeah, yeah,
shot
yeah.
on
It's my
Power Armor 13 or something.
yeah. That's that big phone I got. I gotta change the settings in it.
And this one was especially horrible because it's all blurry and you like did one of
Mm.
the one of these.
Yeah, this one wasn't good either.
And the third one was also again like, what settings did you use?
Shitty ones. These are shitty settings, people. You see that? That's how it works. Put a freaking fingerprint filter on.
Ander has a question. Can you connect two speakers from one PL socket on the theater? Yes, absolutely. Because every power link, even the old ones, carry two signals, left and right.
And you can daisy chain them up to 8 speakers.
Yes.
So 4
But
pairs.
it'll be perpetually left, right, left, right, left, right, etc. It's not like you can daisy chain them and then give them left, right, left rear, left, right, right rear.
No, yeah.
That's what you need a different cable for. But if you have, let's say, the wall on your left with a bunch of 28s and the wall on your right with a bunch of 28s, you can daisy chain them because they're all left.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's usually used in larger commercial setups, like in hotels or restaurants where they daisy chain power link speakers together.
or like
So
what is it, the Penguin Pub or whatever it is?
yeah, they got a whole bunch of Beolab threes. They used to have 4000s, but then they changed them
Yeah.
to threes.
I sometimes forget you still have Beolab 1s for me.
Yeah, dude, they're in storage. Fuck.
God, I love the 1s. They're so great.
That's a nice setup too with the cabinet and everything. Like that's an old school proper.
Yeah, but did you see the sub here on the next to the door and the what is it, the Bio
Oh, Beolab
box?
16.
16?
That's a Beolab 16 with 15s.
Yeah.
And then I think, what is it, Amplifier 1 back then? Or no, Amplifier 16, I think it was called something like that. No, Amplifier 1. Amplifier 16 was a different one. Yeah, that's a sweet system. I sold the subwoofer, but I had a subwoofer for one client that decided not to put the sub in. And like, fuck, it was bad. Good thing I ordered it. I was actually thinking of putting in, like, if I stayed in Calgary, I would have cut the hole in the wall and put it in underneath my shape as a sub. But
I
then I
guess
would
that
have to get
works.
another amplifier or passive gate or something to run it off of, so too much headache.
I mean, some people are nutty, but like this guy does it correctly and has a literal Bang & Olufsen store logo in his house.
Nice. I like that. With the stage. Good for you, bro.
I mean, sweet.
So,
Also, and he did something you like with the whole home automation thing.
yeah, he's got a gateway.
Yeah, and a bunch
That's
of
a Beolab
cameras
intelligence.
and a doggo and
Nice.
seemingly also a cat, because that's a cat door in the door.
So
we've run a bit over time, so I'm going to call it for tonight.
Yeah.
We can always go again with more pictures next week or stuff. Also,
right.
if you have any questions, topics, and that sort of thing, email us. Come join the Discord. Let me know if you want topics, questions, that sort of thing.
So are we offline for 2 weeks now? Oh, I'm gonna be at least, because I'm not gonna be here 18th, which is next podcast, and then it's Christmas.
Seemingly.
So I'll try see if
I mean, we could also maybe move it to a Saturday or a Friday, or if. Anyway, we'll see, but most likely 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, that we're gonna be offline. So
I may think of something for next week, or maybe I'll ask Steve to come and co-host, or see what Eric and Henrik are up to.
Go from there.
Anyway, come join the Discord, and that's where you'll know. And because I sometimes forget to post that sort of shit to YouTube.
There you go.
So
if I don't see ya, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for watching another year, and we'll see you between the holidays.
Don't we have one? Oh no! After Christmas, yeah, there isn't one until in the new year.
Yeah.
In that case, if we don't see you, Happy New Year.
That's right. Don't drink too much.
What, like you?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink too much.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow us on Discord and Substack and that sort of shit. I'm gonna roll the outro and see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
You know, when this long night will fade away, and we go back to our old ways, two perfect strangers in disguise. When the sound is going to stretch its sounds on the road, turn us again with his shrill call into perfect strangers in disguise. But until then